Hello students, so welcome to this platform. So in today's video we want to look at this question from mathematics paper 2. So this question is on finding the standard deviation. So this is the second video that I've made on finding the standard deviation. So in case you didn't watch the first video, I'll pin the link to the first video in my comment section. So just watch that video first before you watch this one. Okay, so let's just dive in and see what we have today. So the question reads, a farmer planted 60 fruit trees. In a certain month, the number of fruits per tree was recorded and the results were as shown in the table below. Okay, so this is the table that shows the results. The question says, calculate the standard deviation. So find the standard deviation, 6 marks. Okay, so this is another form of grouped data, because you can see each data entry. So each data entry has a particular frequency associated to it. So this is still grouped data. So we'll literally use the same formula just like we did in the first video. So our formula involves, first of all, we need to come up with a table. And in that table, we said it should have 4 columns. We need to find f, the frequency. We put the frequency there, then x, the data set entry, then we multiply f and x, we get fx, then fx we multiply by x, we get fx squared. Once we do this, we need to find the totals here. We add everything, we get the sum of f. We said this symbol means summation. Okay, then we don't need to add the x's the values of x, because they actually don't play any role in finding the standard deviation, but they can help us find fx. So once we find fx, we add them here, we find the sum of fx. We also need to add the last column there, so sum of fx squared. Then after all the totals are calculated, we now need to use this formula. Standard deviation is equal to summation of fx squared divided by f, summation of f, minus mean squared. Then we can find the standard deviation. Okay, so let's come up with this table, then we can compute the standard deviation. So let me just get rid of this stuff, then we find the standard deviation together. So the first thing, we draw the table, 4 columns. So let me just draw the table. Okay. So I should have 4 columns, so 1 there, 2, 3 and 4. Then we need to put the titles here. We have f for frequency. So these are the values of x and this is the frequency. You can see it's clearly labeled here. Sometimes they would say number. Let me just redo this. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, so f, then we should have x here, then we multiply f and x, then we're going to have fx, then we multiply fx and x, we shall have fx squared. Okay, so like I was saying, this is the value of x, then this is f. So frequency, so sometimes they can say number of something, number of people, number of trees, or things like that. Okay, so this is f. Then x, in this case, you can see that in the previous video we saw that x was given in form of ranges. We saw something like this, and to find x we needed to find what we called the midpoint. We needed to add this value to this value, then we divide by 2. So we were saying 0 plus 10, then we divide by 2. But in this case, you can see that each value of x has already been given. We don't need to find the midpoints whatsoever, so we just go direct there. This makes our work much easier than in the last video. Okay, so let's just fill up the table. So by filling up the table, I mean we need to put the frequency f, we put x, fx, and fx squared there, then we find the totals later. Okay, so let's just do that together. So okay, so for f we can see the frequencies here. So we have 1, 5, 4, 6, 10, 16, and 18. Then the values of x here, we can say for each value of frequency you need to assign it to a corresponding value of x. So these are together like that. Okay, so we have 2, 3, 5 there, 4. So what else we have? Okay, so we have 2, 3, so 2, 3, 4. I made a mistake here. Okay, so 2, 3, then 4, then 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then we need to find fx. Fx simply means get the value of f, then multiply it by the value of x. So for each value. So we need to finish all the way up to there. Okay, so 1 times 2, that will give us fx, so that is 2. Then fx squared simply means once you find fx, multiply it by x again. So it means this value multiplied by this will give you this value here. Okay, so this value times that will give you this value here. So it means 2 times 2, that will be 4. We continue doing the same here throughout. So 5 times 3, 15. Then 15 times 3, 45. Okay, then 4 times 4, that is 16. 16 times 4, that's 64. Then 6 times 5, that's 30. Then 30 times 5, that's 150. Okay, 10 times 6, we have 60. 60 by 6, 360. Okay, 16 times 7. So 16 times 7, you can use a calculator. They allow you to use calculators in this paper 2 math. Okay, so 112 there. Then we multiply by 7, it means 7, 784 there. Then 18 times 8, so I'm getting 144. Then this value here multiplied by 8, so 1152. Okay, we're almost there. All we need to do now is find the totals. We need to add everything. So we need to find the totals. Okay, so let me put the totals in a different color. So by total frequency, it means you add everything here in the frequency. So everything here, we add them, then we put them together. Okay, so in this question, they actually told us to say we had 60 fruit trees, but let's just add to confirm, but it should give us 60. So 1 plus 5 plus 4 plus 6 plus 10 plus 16 plus 18. So I'm still getting 60 here. This is what you put there. We don't need to add the x's because in the formula for standard deviation, we don't see any x value there. So we just go straight and add the summation of f. So this is summation of f, then summation of fx here. So what are we getting? So 2 plus 15 plus 16 plus 30 plus 112 plus 144. Let me add that again. So 2 plus 15 plus 16 plus 30 plus 60 plus 112 plus 144. Okay, so I'm getting 379. Okay, so we add the fx squared. So 4 plus 45 plus 64 plus 150 plus 360 plus 784 plus 1152. So I'm getting, so summation of fx squared, what am I getting? I'm getting 2559. Okay, then we now come back to the formula. Standard deviation is equal to summation of fx squared divided by summation of f, it's still group data, minus mean squared. Okay, so what do we have? We already have summation of f. Sorry for that. So saying we already have the summation of f. We have summation of fx squared. What's missing is the mean. You can see we have everything here. What's missing is this x bar. We call this the mean. Okay, so first of all we need to find the mean. Once we find the mean, then we can come back and find the standard deviation. We are almost there. Okay, so let's find the mean. So to find the mean, we said mean is equal to summation of fx divided by summation of f. So summation of fx, you can see it's right here. So 379. Then summation of f frequency 60. Then we divide there. So 379 divided by 60. So I'm getting 6 point. This is not the final answer. We're not yet done with finding standard deviation. So first of all, let me write everything. So I have these numbers. It's more like they're repeating. Okay, we are going like that. So that is my mean. So after finding the mean, we can now find the standard deviation. Let's compute the standard deviation. So SD is equal to, so fx squared, summation of fx squared, this one here, we know is this value here. So 2559 divided by 60, which is summation of f, minus this value. So you plug it in the exact way you see it on a calculator there, because we're not yet done. Of course it's going there, but this should be squared. Okay, then it's a standard deviation. So what you basically do is, if you want, you can even start, you don't need to worry about this. You can start with any part as long as you find the final answer. So what I can do myself is I can say, don't erase the answer that you got on the calculator. So we can just put brackets and say 2559 divided by 60. We close the brackets, then minus. We open the brackets. The answer that you got, if you want, you can just put it, you can say minus 6.31666. You square it. But for me, I can just say minus. I put the brackets and I say minus answer squared. Then I close the brackets. So what I'm going to have is something that looks like this. So once I do this, I'm finding 2.74972222. Okay, then we find the square root and say therefore SD, standard deviation. So you just say square root. So my answer is 1.65822864. Of course, we can now round off these to 3 significant figures because the answer is not exact. So we need to round off to 3 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3. So after 5, we can see there's 8. So we add 1 to 5, becomes 1.66. So this is the standard deviation, and this is how you do it. Okay, so this is all for this video. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends, and don't forget to follow my page and hit that like button. Bye bye.